Hello, good evening to you and a warm welcome to Prime Business with me, Pius Kojobaka. President John Mahama has mounted a spirited defense for the 2025 budget, describing it as a true reflection of government's quest of resetting and revitalizing the economy. According to him, his administration's commitment to lean government is evident in the budget through expenditure rationalization. Now, delivering a speech after swearing in new deputy finance ministers, at the Jubilee House, President Mahama said the various allocations and policy intervention programs will spur economic and transformative growth in the short to medium term.
Demanding responsibilities in these ministries require additional support to ensure swift and effective implementation of the programs and policies that we have set ourselves. Ministries that can function effectively without deputy ministers have not been assigned any deputy minister, reaffirming our commitment to a lean and efficient government. The swearing in of this batch of 13 deputy ministers and 1 minister of state brings us closer to achieving the full complement of ministers. This week, I'll submit a final list of 4 deputy ministers to achieve the full complement of 60 ministers that we promised. We've also achieved the earliest approval of ministers by Parliament under the Fourth Republic, enabling them to get to work to roll out our commitment to the people of Ghana. The full extent of our commitment to fulfilling our promises to the people have not only manifested in the way that we have curated the leanest government under the Fourth Republic, but we've also demonstrated same in the policies that we are pursuing. Only yesterday, the first budget statement and economic policy of this government was presented on my behalf by the Minister of Finance to Parliament. The budget has outlined specific interventions across all sectors, as contained in our 2024 manifesto, aimed at revitalizing the economy and reducing hardship. These policies are also aimed at ensuring improvement in education, healthcare, roads, energy, agriculture, trade and agribusiness, and other areas, all with the overarching objective of creating jobs for our people. The budget also provided specific allocated funds for all the commitments we made in the 120-day social contract with the people of Ghana.
The Acting Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Sapong, has hit the ground running to exceed the domestic revenue target of 220 billion cedis in the 2025 budget. To this end, he has tasked the Accra East Tax Service Center to mobilize a minimum of 11 billion cedis, which is about 5% of the overall target. He has been engaging managers of the area during a visit to some key centers. Here's a report.
The visit by the Acting Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Sapon, afforded him the opportunity to interact with the tax officers and find strategies to meet the set target of 220 billion cedis in the 2025 budget, as mentioned by the Finance Minister Dr. Kasiala Tuforsen. Speaking after a short engagement, he asked the Accra East Tax Service Center to mobilize a minimum of 11 billion cedis for the year 2025.
Based on your performance last year, minimum, I was expecting you to do 11 billion, which will constitute 5% of our working target, which is 220 billion. So if you do 11 billion, that's 5. You are contributing 5% to the overall pot. But I have every belief that you will achieve that. And then our work is also made to ensure that we give you some of the logistics and support so that you can have the peace of mind and focus and do it.
At the Tema Customs Collection Point, Assistant Commissioner Theresa Potaki assured of working efficiently to support the revenue mobilization drive.
As you visit us today, CJ, we pledge to work even harder to achieve this year's targets. We are committed to ensuring that our operations are efficient, effective, and transparent. The Commissioner General and his team also engaged the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority on implementing the 24-hour economy policy at the ports. Yes, Acting Director General of the GPHA, Brigadier General Tanya Kulonu.
The 24 hours economy too, I think we have discussed it at length. So I'm sure very soon we will start to operate here so that our clients will know that any time that they come here, they will be served. And at the end of the day, their satisfaction will be what we aim at. So on that note, I think we've really spoken about areas of collaboration, and then on the issue of the laissez-passer, as you have assured me that a DEX will be established in Tema here, so that our counterparts from Burkina Faso, Mali, and the Sahelian countries, when their laissez-passer expires, instead of going to headquarters to go and renew it, they will just do it here.
The team also engaged management of the MPS terminal at the port to end the tour.
This evening, there are growing concerns about the introduction of a significant change to the Growth and Sustainability Levy, that's the GSL, increasing from 1% to 3% on the gross production of mining companies. Some industry players have argued that the increase would have a negative impact on the mining industry. However, tax consultant Francis Timoboy believes the increment of the Growth and Sustainability Levy is a good move, debunking notions that government is removing taxes and introducing new ones. Speaking to Joy Business, he indicated that the increment in the levy will help accrue more revenue from the country's natural resources.
You see, if you take the Growth and Sustainability Levy, we knew from 2001 or so when it was introduced, this tax has never gone away. Government upon government, they come and extend the sunset clause, even though business community says that let's scrap it. So it is not a new thing. And in 2028, another government will come, and if you look at the trend, they are also going to extend it. So I don't think that is something that we can even call it new. We knew that it's going to be there forever. Again, if you look at the mining sector, globally, countries appear to get more from their natural resources. In Ghana, we don't get much. So the National Economic Dialogue, it came up that we are not reaping enough from our resource rent. Whilst others are, potentially 14%, which means that the mining sector is profitable. We're getting very small. So they're saying that let's increase the Growth and Sustainability Levy that applies to them, which is currently 1% to 3%, then I think it's fair if those big companies can pay. And again, the reason why it is fair to we Ghanaians is that it doesn't affect the ordinary Ghanaians like you and I. These are for big mining companies. So if we want to get more from our natural resource, it's better than maintaining COVID-19 or e-levy. If you look at the performance of the Ghana Revenue Authority year on year, they've been doing close to 35%. This year, they are projecting around 31%, which means that they are targeting around 210 billion Ghana cedis. With the reforms, and again, the promise to embark on comprehensive tax compliance, I think that we'll be able to achieve it.
Now, government has justified the 291 billion cedis as total expenditure for this year. This administration will end the year spending 50 billion cedis, more than what it has moved in the revenue. Now, the development has raised a lot of concerns about government's commitment to fiscal prudence while containing the rising debt stock. Shamima Muslim is Deputy Government Spokesperson.
And has been accounted for in this budget. It is so because it is not going to be a clannish few who are going to be feeding themselves fat on the bulk of our resources. That layman would understand, if he's an assemblyman, that the cost of the operations is as a result of him now earning something that he didn't used to earn. It will not be for the girl at the primary school and secondary school who did not have free sanitary pad, but who can say that because of His Excellency John Dramani Mahamat's 2025 budget, I am able to get access to free sanitary pads in school. That girl will not be confused about what prudence and austerity means. It will not be shocking for the woman whose capital has been eroded by the mismanaged economy of the previous administration, who can now walk to a banking service, a development banking service, and is able to access 500 Ghana cedis, 1,000 Ghana cedis to operate her fruit tabletop business. It will not be shocking if this woman hears that this is what, austerity means. It will not be shocking to the nurses who will be receiving their allowance. It will not be shocking to the first-year students who would get their monies that they have paid for their academic fees back. It will not be shocking to this is a budget for the people.
Now, Finance Minister Dr. Kasiala Tuforsen has announced a fresh set of measures aimed at containing inflation rate and stabilizing the cedi. Now, these policy measures are expected to implement or complement various programs being rolled out by the Bank of Ghana. More in this report.
According to the Minister of Finance, Dr. Tuforsen, the establishment of the Gold Board is expected to play a lead role in helping stabilize the cedi and slow inflation rate for this year. Government believes that this will enhance generation and accumulation of forex to help stabilize the cedi. The Finance Minister, in the presentation, also argued that the proposed spending cuts and fiscal consolidation program would go a long way to reduce budget deficit, which may in turn ease the current pressure on the cedi. The minister also believes that the implementation of the 24-hour economy will improve local production and help reduce imports, which could stabilize the local currency. On keeping inflation low, Dr. Forsen believes that the introduction of some fresh programs like the Agriculture for Economic Transformation agenda will increase food production and reduce food inflation. Government is also planning to implement policies that will target the value food chain and transport costs as well.
Ghana recorded about $48 million from the export of vegetables. This was revealed by the Deputy Chief Executive of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Raymond Rashid Kramer. Mr. Kramer stated that the authority will collaborate with trade partners like Israeli Economic and Trade Mission to ensure the growth of exports. He spoke at the Israeli Embassy's Trade Forum on the development of Ghana's vegetable industry held in Accra. Here's a report.
Ghana's vegetable sector has expanded by an average of 5 to 6% annually over the past decade, employing over 1 million people. Some of the challenges facing the sector include harsh climate effects and the lack of proper storage facilities, leading to high post-harvest losses. The Israeli Economic and Trade Mission's Forum on the development of Ghana's vegetable industry introduced farmers to Israeli agri-tech solutions. Speaking on the sidelines of the forum, Deputy CEO of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority revealed that Ghana recorded over $40 million from the export of vegetables in 2024.
Last year, GEPA recorded $48 million for the vegetable sector alone, which is a significant stride if you compare the previous years, which was playing around 20-something. So it's a good indication that the vegetation industry is actually growing larger than we are expecting it to. Considering the fact that our collaboration is getting stronger, not just between us and FAGE, but now with the Israeli coming in, with their kind of technology and everything, we are seeing a significant growth in the vegetable industry.
President of the Ghana Vegetable Producers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Dr. Felix Kamasa, highlighted the need for the mass adoption of greenhouse technology and proper irrigation facilities to boost yields.
The stakeholders which involved, if they can able to support them in terms of greenhouse production, irrigation facility, because I'm talking about the vegetable sector. Those are the things can help the sector to grow, to produce a quality solution. You know, Ghana Irrigation Authority have a lot of irrigation sites across the country. They are not functioning. Can we rehabilitate those irrigation facilities for vegetable production?
Driven by advanced agri-tech practices, Israel boasts as a global leader in the export of vegetables. The Israeli ambassador to Ghana, Rory Gillard, emphasized the need to partner with the Ministry of Agriculture to ensure the sustainability of the project.
This dialogue is going either can go through the Ministry of Agriculture, can go through the gentleman that spoke here from the Export Authority, or from the Vegetables Authority. It can go through the universities. Some of these partnerships go through the academy. Our main aim is that the partnership, that the yields of the partnership will be felt by the farmers. That's the most important thing for us.
The forum was held on the theme, Bridging Innovation and Growth in Vegetable Production and Exports.
Internal auditors across the African continent have met in Ghana under the 3rd African Federation of Institute of Internal Auditors Leadership Workshop to emphasize the need to enforce standardization. This, they say, will help enhance professionalism and good ethics in their works. There is more in this report.
The conference brought together internal auditors from Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, Gambia, and other African countries to share ideas and experiences to harmonize internal audit practices. Joseph Dakura Zumazigi is Ghana president of the Institute of Internal Auditors.
As a continent, we have common problems that you would find in our various countries. And if internal audit would work as a profession that will help the countries to develop through professionalism, through the insistence on good internal controls, either for the public sector or the private sector, we cannot have Africa developing at the same pace or at the pace that we would want to see it if we don't collaborate.
According to participants at the African Federation of Institutes of Internal Auditors Leadership Workshop, the move to share ideas will help encourage coordination and harmonization. Harriet Ikuya-Kakari is vice chairperson of AFIA West Africa, and she shares the importance of the meeting in Accra.
I believe that we are all coming from different countries, and our maturity levels as institutes are also different. Some are more matured than the others. And this is an opportunity for us to learn from each other, so that if you know that this particular country is being able to achieve this one and you desire to also achieve it, you can find out from them how they did it. Then you learn and go and implement it.
Secretary General of the African Federation of Institutes of Internal Auditors, Dr. Zelia Injeza, said AFIA is seeking to put together a working document to guide its members across the continent. This, she said, will engage governments and relevant stakeholders.
We are constituted with the purpose of having a unified voice across Africa. Internal auditors, we have our own way of doing things, and it's a profession that it's stand on its own, and as African context we do have our unique characteristics. So as AFIA, we want to have one voice in as far as the internal audit profession is concerned. So as AFIA, we have initiatives on how to make it happen, supporting our members who are across Africa.
The 2024 Financial Services Monitor published by Old Mutual has revealed that 38% of Ghanaians rely on financial support from family and friends, either locally or internationally, to complement their monthly income. By this, every 4 out of 10 depend on family and friends to sustain themselves financially. There's more in the following report.
The key objective of the Old Mutual Financial Services Monitor is to provide a deep understanding of the working Ghanaian market, uncovering financial attitudes, perceptions, and behavior in the informal and formal sectors. Group Head of Knowledge and Insight at Old Mutual Ghana, Vuyokazi Mabude, shares some highlights of the report.
I think the biggest insights is particularly three things. One is people are very much interconnected in managing their finances in tough times. They are leaning on family and friends for support. 38% of people receive money from their friends and family every single month to make ends meet. Borrowing behavior is on the rise. People are taking more loans, both informally and formally. And also savings remains a priority for people. They're still trying to save towards their businesses, their futures for their children in education, and also their homes, to buy homes and improve their homes. So saving is still an important thing for Ghanaians, but it is obviously a very tough environment for them.
Apart from enhancing financial inclusion, the objective of the Old Mutual's Financial Services Monitor is to support Old Mutual's drive to champion the financial well-being of Ghanaians.
It is a study that focuses on the working population and adults only. And what it does is really be able to help us to meet our consumers' needs. It points out some of the trends and the things that are happening in the financial services industry, things like borrowing behavior, savings behavior, and we're able to respond to those as a financial services provider. So moving forward, I think one of the biggest things, firstly for us as Old Mutual, is making sure that these insights get into the right hands. That includes our consumers, our partners, the rest of the financial services industry. We want to make sure that people are able to not only know better, but do better.
Now, Virtual InfoSec Africa has donated a state-of-the-art computer laboratory to the University of Ghana to strengthen cybersecurity training and equip students with the skills needed to combat rising cyber threats. Stephen Mensah reports.
The newly commissioned facility, equipped with advanced cybersecurity tools and high-performance computing systems, is set to enhance research, practical training, and innovation in digital security. With cyber fraud and digital crimes on the rise in Ghana, experts stress the urgent need for well-trained professionals to safeguard sensitive data and infrastructure. Acting Director of the Cybersecurity Authority, Steve Kujo, stressed that Ghana can no longer afford to treat cybersecurity as business as usual.
One of the key things we've done is to launch what we call a licensing accreditation regime. Basically, around the world, we are just 3 countries. Ghana was the second, and it's the only one in the African continent to have done this. And essentially, it's a system of making sure that we have the right service providers and professionals that are fully qualified and accredited to carry out the sensitive job of cybersecurity within the country. Now, VIA has been around for years, and when this law came out, they were one of the few, or one of the earliest to support us to get it done. And indeed, they are Tier 1. What we call Tier 1 is the most experienced, those that are mandated to work on our critical infrastructure. So VIA support is a benchmark. It basically means that other institutions can follow their steps.
At the commissioning, Chief Executive of Virtual InfoSec Africa, Emmanuel Setresi-Edu, reaffirmed the company's commitment to equipping the next generation of cybersecurity experts.
This is the 3rd initiative we have organized as Virtual InfoSec Africa. Our first was held at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, followed by one at Presbyterian Christian College, and now this, our biggest yet. Attending university here 22 or 23 years ago left a lasting impact on me. It touched my heart to give back in a meaningful way to the institution that nurtured me into the person I am today. This is why we are here today.
On her part, Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nana Abba Amfo, underscored the increasing importance of cybersecurity in Ghana's digital transformation.
The commissioning of this cybersecurity lab is very significant for the University of Ghana. Our first strategic priority is a transformative student experience, and this will help us to achieve that. Together with staff from Virtual InfoSec Africa and other people in industry who have expertise in this area, they will join faculty here for us to train our students in cybersecurity and related issues. As you know, this is a very topical issue for us here in this country and globally.
Stephen Mensah's report read to you.
And that's our package for tonight. I am Pius Kojo Baka. We have more for you when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Razak Musbao is next with Prime Sports. Enjoy.